Hey everybody, it's Ed. Welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about stickers. And I know I talked about the beta and I talked a little bit about stickers in one of my other videos, but what's really important here is this idea that a lot of people online have been comparing these to clip art or to icons or to just really what they're not. And I think it's just important to go through and maybe cover a little bit more, show a little bit of the different ways that they're used, because there is a difference between using them in, for example, a hand recognition note and a regular standard note. So we're going to look through that. We're going to go through a little bit of what they can be tasked with and how you can change them up a little bit. And then we will regroup. By the way, I'm using a new software to record, so I'd be interested in your feedback. I'm currently using Meld Studio, and I'll drop the link to it down below. I don't get anything out of this. It's just something I'm trying. Got some different transitions, so please give me your feedback. Let me know what you think about this, and let's go ahead and hop on over. So right now, what you saw pop up on my screen is my beta environment in the Spernote. All right, everybody. So here we are with the Spernote, and we're going to talk about these stickers. Like I mentioned in the intro, a lot of people are just calling these clip art. And I really don't think that does a service to the way this was designed. I think it's really something totally different and something that they're trying something new with. Clip art to me, and when I looked it up, it says it's icons and that, basically just still images. That's not the way this functions. So I've got two notes here. Both of them are the beta notes, and I keep reusing for this beta. Now, this did roll out today in a full launch. So the newest version, the newest stable release has this as well. But let's first go into a standard note. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the standard note versus the real-time recognition note, with a standard note, you get layers, and you get some other things as far as a fine eraser that you don't get with the real-time recognition note. A real-time recognition note has to be able to recognize the text. And of course, if you had text on multiple layers, then it would cause some potential issues. In this scenario, this is more for just free-flowing, keeping your handwriting as a handwritten record, not really worrying as much about the specific text recognition features. But let's look at what you can do here with those stickers. So if I click on my sticker icon here, I get all of the different tools that I have. I did start playing around with basic shapes, so you could actually create your own shapes and put those in. So if I wanted to create a cube, I could do that. And of course, I took two triangles, and I'll show you here in a minute what I did to create this. But I basically took two triangles, erased one part, connected with the straight line feature, and then finished out the cube. Really simple, really easy. The cool thing about it is, let's say now I want to change this up. I don't want it to be just a cube anymore. I could go to the eraser tool, and then what I would do is I would just erase that line. Now that's gone. Pretty neat. Seems like something simple, but it's being misunderstood, and I don't really know how to be more clear about what it does, but it does a different thing. So let's say I wanted to add that line back in, and my drawing skills are still not perfect, and now I added that line back in. Now I could reselect this, or as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and just for fun, let's connect another line here. Let's see, what can we do? Let's go ahead and just draw a line here. We'll pull it back here and change that image a little bit. I didn't quite get it far enough to snap it, but you can see where I'm going here. Now, if I select this, I can actually recreate it as a new sticker. So if I wanted to, I could now add this in to basic shapes and say, okay, I made that change. It's different now, so we can go ahead and get on with our day. I'm not going to do that because there's no real reason here. Now, what can you do with this sticker in a standard note that may be different from a regular note? Well, one thing is you'll see that the keyword feature is grayed out. This isn't recognized as text. It is recognized as individual strokes, but not text. So you can set it as a link. You can turn it into a heading, which would then populate it over in your table of contents. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Let's make it very light. So we put that light box around it. Now if I go over to my table of contents, and you'll see there's my sticker. So pretty cool. If I wanted to go ahead and add text there, I could have turned all of that into a heading, and then you'd be able to have a heading for each individual thing. Again, you can make it a link, or you can go here and you can make it a new sticker. So that's really quickly what the functionality is for the regular standard notebook. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, no muss, no fuss, just works. And for someone who's wanting to create multiple layers or do multiple things, you can select this in different iterations and turn it into that sticker. Now let's go over and look at what you can do with this in the real-time recognition note. And this is where it gets interesting, because remember, it's the same basic concept. The sticker is a collection of strokes. It's not a piece of clip art. It's not something static. It's something changeable, movable, malleable. You can do a lot of things with it. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll create a new sticker. So this time let's go with something built in. And let's say I want to have a collection of sticky notes. So I put in the sticky note. I go ahead, I make that bigger. Move it up here, put it kind of in the middle. And then I'm going to put new sticky note. Now I have this sticky note. What can I do? Well, when I go to circle this again, you're going to see the keyword function is available. Now what's really neat about this is even without the text in there, this can be turned into a keyword. So if I wanted to mark this as a to-do, I could do that. So I just want to do new sticky note. So of course it saw that as one word. So we'll go ahead and separate those out. And maybe you wouldn't want it to be multiple words, but you might. So you go ahead and separate that out. And then I can say add. So now I've added that. I can also add it to do. Now, two keywords are associated with that same piece of clip art. One saying it's a to-do, one saying it's a specific to-do. Then you want to go back out, and let's say I also want to create a task. So I go here, and now what you'll notice is instead of just having new sticker available here, you can also create an event. So you could create something in your calendar with this particular sticky note, and you could also create a new task. So let's go ahead and do the new task. And again, it says new sticky note. Probably want to separate that out. I can set a date if I want to, and I can hit add. Now it's already added that. Now if I go back over here to my to-do list, and you'll notice the little notebook icon. Now the wonderful thing again about the Spernote to-dos is they can be standalone or they can be within a notebook. They can generate from the notebook or from here. Now the only thing they haven't allowed you to do yet is to tie it from here to a notebook from here. But again, that's kind of a small thing when you're looking at this entire package. But now if I go here and I press, I go right to my sticky note. This can be moved and it will follow. Another feature, and this is the last thing that I'll cover here, if I go to search now and then I want to go ahead and just search keyword, you'll see this will come up. Now it'll also come up with the to-do I did a long time ago because I marked that as a to-do for something else. But you'll see there's my beta note right there. And if I go into that, and of course, before I do that, you can also view this in multiple ways. So you'll see in the preview there, and in the preview there, that there is my sticky note. So you have a lot of different ways that, again, you can look at this to preview and see what you've got going on. And now when I go, I'm right there. It's just a neat functionality to be able to search and to use this tool in a lot of ways. And you can kind of customize this with the eraser a little bit. The problem is it's a stroke eraser in this context, so it's not going to get rid of just, one little piece. It's going to get rid of a whole line. So if I do that, then I do this, you see it got rid of the entire piece. I don't know that that's as functional as the other one. The other place may be a good place to refine your stickers or to hone them down, take off some rough edges, smooth it out, change the look and feel of it. Then once you save that, you can pull it into here and use it however you want. Again, it shows the intentional nature of these tools for Spernote users. The idea is everything in the system is customizable. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop back over. So what does this all mean? What is the big deal about stickers? Why did I feel I needed to make a special video just about the stickers? I think a lot of it comes down to just perceptual things. People think of this as only clip art or only icons or only something for bullet journaling or for prettying up the notebooks. And while that may be true for someone who bullet journals or for someone who really needs that aesthetic, there's also some really practical reasons that someone might want to use this from an organizational perspective. All of these use cases are very, very important. The biggest thing is what Rada tries to do, at least very much so with their thoughtful approach to how they implement these types of features, is it's not what you would call a one-trick pony. This does a lot of different things, or could do a lot of different things depending on your use case. If, for example, me wanting to create a custom to-do list or a custom template of some kind without having to use some fancy drawing program. I can take straight lines, I can make them whatever length and size I want, I can circle that, and it now becomes a scalable sticker, or really a template. And it's an engaging template, so it can be modified or changed from the base by just doing a few simple things. I like the 4-part grid and the 6-part grid, but what if I wanted to change that up a little, or have a 9-part, or figure out some way in landscape to make it look right? I can do all of that now. I can trace over a template and make it darker and then save that as something I can use in the future. Anyway, just a video about how I'm thinking about this. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Is this a feature you will use? It is currently still in beta, but I think it's an important tool in the toolkit for people who are trying to do things in new and creative ways. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please look us up on Patreon. Consider becoming a member there or here on YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, please just drop them down below, and we will close out with our patrons and YouTube members as always. Until next time, keep moving forward.